First, I want to just thank the library for bringing Professor Davis out. I really enjoyed the event, and I'm glad that you all brought her out. It was an insightful and wonderful event, so I'm grateful for that. I just wanted to ask, is the library taxpayer? Are you guys a taxpayer? You pay taxes. Does the library pay taxes?
Yes.
The library pays taxes?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the library pays taxes, and how does it pay taxes and receive taxes from commercials and real estate property? And how is an industrial development, which this project is under, receiving money from other industrial developments, tax money from other industrial developments? How can you be an industrial development and then get taxes from an industrial development? And what is it that the library is producing as an industrial development? Are you making books? Are you selling books? Are you assembly line? How is this? I'm just trying to figure out, how does this fall under an industrial development? And then I want to ask, how come the board just didn't issue these bonds as a general obligation? Because you're entitled to under the Recovery Act.
Well, I don't know the city's history that well, but I've been around long enough to know some of this stuff happened before we were born, about how some of these decisions are made.
Well, this is regarding the issues of the recovery zone bond, which was in 2009.
Right. And the government states the fact of how we apply for those. That's why we had consultants come in and consult us on how to do it. We didn't make the decision.
Well, under the Industrial Development Act.
Could I suggest that we take questions? You've asked the questions.
Right.
These are sorts of things that, quite frankly, there's consultants we work with who develop this sort of stuff, and I don't think anyone on the board is prepared to debate that topic with you. But I think we could prepare answers to your questions. I think that's probably the more appropriate way to proceed, rather than have us try to do it here, because I know that I can't. I know Keith isn't a lawyer or a banker, so I don't think he can.
Well, it's just simple questions like.
That's not that simple.
The
documents on those stuff was pretty thick.
Here's something simple, man. How many employees does the library employ? About 300. And does each employee of the library make $50,000? Is that the average salary? Because that's what's in the bond reallocation, is that the library has retained the jobs for the Central Library Project, and that each employee who has retained those jobs make an average of $50,000 a year.
Is the question whether the bonds are properly issued? Is that the question?
The question relates back to, that's one of the questions, were the bonds properly issued? Because if you
And
have...
one board member, I would say we relied on outside experts for that. And I agree with Dave. We are not the experts on that. We were advised by outside experts.
And your attorney advised you...
To put this in context, I've been on the board 28 years and have taken thousands of votes, all of which were, in many cases, supplemented by hundreds of pages of carefully researched legal opinions. And I'm not capable at this point of recalling the legal research that went into each of those votes. And I guess, I would repeat, what's the point? Are you suggesting the bonds are properly issued?
Yes.
Okay, then file a lawsuit.
No, I don't want to file a lawsuit. And that's an idiotic response to file a lawsuit. We're concerned here. You took $50 million out of poor, distressed communities that could have used the money to put it into a library. What jobs are you creating? What industrial development are you producing? You're not a tax entity. You don't pay taxes. You're not a taxpayer. You're not a taxpayer.
I don't understand the point of this.
Under the Constitution, you're not even allowed to
If
issue
the bonds
bonds.
were not properly issued, then you ought to allege they were not properly issued. The library board's position is we rely on outside experts and that they were properly issued.
Who were those outside experts that you've made?
So you'd have to go through all the documents, and there are all experts that are cited.
Okay.
You can file a sunshine law request.
I did that, and everyone has want to charge me $5,000 for 3, 4, 5 sheets of paper and some time, you know.
Yeah.
That's
As you
okay.
just heard, we kept strapped for cash right now, so we're watching.
So is that why you didn't issue this as a general obligation?
Like you said, you should contact our attorneys and our experts.
Well, who's the attorney? So I can get the attorney's name, I can do that. Nobody wants to see, that's what I'm saying, nobody wants to see.
No, I think if you, you've asked some questions here today, which I think we've noted. If you wanted to submit like a formal letter saying, I've got these questions, I think we would, to the extent that it was something that we could share with you, we would provide you answers. But it's not the sort of thing that, you know, we typically come to a board meeting prepared to discuss in detail.
Well, you just had your, production of bond financing and debt bonds, and so I thought maybe you could be prepared with, all the staff members are here, that someone could just answer these simple questions.